extract number 3, page 126 in the Art of Extract Making, our third peach extract in our workshop today. This one was us going a little crazy one day, right? Because we saw some things online, and this one kind of blends both the concept of an extract plus the concept of an infusion into one extract. So in our book, we write about this. There's tinctures, there's infusions, there's emulsions, there's extract. There's all these things that are extract-like. We use the term extract for all of our extracts because in every extract that we make, we're extracting. But this is one that blends an infusion with an extract together. We still call it an extract, but it's a lot of fun, and it's with tastes that are totally different. And we also, this is one of those examples where we're going to show you one of our failures. The what happens if we don't do everything on time, because we had a failure with this one that was we like to show. In fact, people have seen the picture where it's kind of like in the background and they can see this jar that's all coagulated. They're like, what is that? We're going to show you today. This is the failure that we had. But let's go ahead and make the extract.
This also has, of course, we're starting with vanilla, but this is our Comoros vanilla bean. And this has a very creamy, like Madagascar, that normal creamy classic. But then in addition to that, there's this caramely, marshmallowy, like aspect to it, don't you think?
Yes, Comoros is this island.
Different.
Yeah, when you look at a map, you've got Madagascar down at the bottom of when you're looking at the map, it's off to the right of Africa. And then there's this tiny little island right between Madagascar and the continent there of Africa, the main continent, and that's Comoros. And it's this tiny little tropical, beautiful island. And that's where these beans come from. And so, like Jill said, they're in the same sort of region as Madagascar, same climate, but there's something about the soils in Comoros. They're a favorite bean because they have like a marshmallowy like undertone,
like a very sweet richness. Just it's very unique.
So we thought with the mixture of peaches and caramel, the sweetness of caramel that we'll be adding, we thought a Comoros bean would be a lot of fun for this one. That's why we recommended it. So
we're going to start with 1 ounce of the Comoros beans. Same thing. I'm just slicing down the middle, and then I'm going to cut them in 3 so they fit really nicely. With this extract, it really does matter that you cut your peaches kind of a little smaller because, we've got the caramel in there as well as the peaches and the vanilla.
The beans we're referring to, we want to cut the beans into smaller pieces.
And the peaches as well.
And the peaches as well.
You just kind of want everything to settle down in that.
Because there's a whole lot going on in this.
And then I still only have 8 ounces of Everclear. So I am just cutting these.
And you can smell the beans come through. They're wonderful. Comoros is one of those places that one of these days we're going to have to get to Comoros.
Makes me think of s'mores.
Yes. Yeah, truly. Okay, so the ounce of beans. So, as a rule of thumb, anytime we're using an ounce, we're trying to get the vanilla to come forward a little bit more, which means if you leave it, and don't use it for up to a year, you've got enough vanilla in there to make like a single fold vanilla extract. Our recipe only calls for 6 months because we think it's vanilla forward enough at that point, but you can wait even longer if you want to wait longer.
Of course, we always put the vanilla beans back in. When we're finished, we take out the peaches and we'll leave the vanilla in there just a little bit longer, just to give it a little bit more of a, time to extract with those vanilla oils.
Yeah. Not to distract. I'm just how you know that something's extracting. I'm looking at the very first one we made just 15 minutes ago, and we're already getting that amber color around the peaches at the bottom, which is interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, just like that, it's going to be a fun extract. You can kind of see it, but we're already getting the amber come out, which is fun to see.
Quick how
just a little bit. But that's a telltale. And the reason I bring that up, we had a super sweet lady post in our Facebook group. I think it was just this week. And she posted a picture of like a 1-year-old extract, and a lot of you probably saw it. And it had, I think it had the right amount of beans, but it hadn't turned color yet. And she had put all the beans in the 190 proof Everclear. And she waited a year, and of course it didn't turn out. The beans just got burned. But one of the telltale signs is you don't start getting that amber color And so that's why the moisture content from the fresh fruit is so important to dilute the Everclear. When it's diluted, you start getting an extract right away. You'll start seeing the amber. If you don't see the amber, that's kind of a telltale sign that maybe something's a little bit off.
Yeah, if you don't see change pretty quickly, something's off.
Something's off. Okay, so we added the beans, we added the peaches.
Peaches on top of the beans. I did use my hands because I washed them and this is my kitchen, so.
LaDon posted that the Stroh's rum, the 160 rum, it's available at Binny's in Illinois. So it looks like, yep, some people are finding it. So that's great. And a lot of people saying Comoros are so fun. One of our favorites. They are. Comoros just make us smile. I don't know what it is, but Comoros is a special bean.
Well, it's very unique. I
Yes.
mean, marshmallows. If you would have told me 5 years ago that you're gonna smell and kind of get a marshmallowy taste from a vanilla bean, I'd been like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, Comoros is a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're kind of taking the journey. Now the last
thing is we have all of these caramel squares, and they come individually wrapped. You find them in the baking area or the candy area. People use them to make caramel apples and all kinds of things, cookies. Yeah, it's about 5 ounces is what you want, and it's about 15 squares is what you're going to find. And I'm just going to drop these in. I know that some people have used Werther's.
Yes.
It's going to do the same thing. It's going to dissolve.
Yeah.
Either way,
This is more of the infusion part, right? The idea is that we're going to add alcohol to these things. They're not going to, obviously, we're not extracting the caramel square. We're dissolving it. We're infusing it into the alcohol solution to get the caramel flavor. So Werther's, some people separate from this, they use like those mint candies at Christmas time, and they'll make like a peppermint extract, or a peppermint infusion, things like that. I mean, there's so many different things like this whole thing that we're doing with the candies opens up a whole other room to the rabbit hole of different infusions that you can create to have mint flavors and cinnamon. Like people I've seen what do you call the cinnamon? The little red cinnamon candies. What are they called? Red Hots. Yeah, I've seen people use Red Hots. So there's all sorts of things. So it's a whole other world. We're going to stick just with the caramel here, but this is an infusion that's going into an extract.
We started with something very basic. We always start with vanilla, and then we, add a fruit, and then, maybe let's add a dried ingredient.
It's an option.
Just say it, right? Yep. Okay, so we're adding 8 ounces of Everclear. And we're going to wait a month, and then we're going to add another 4 ounces of peaches into that. The thing about this is it's going to look really gross because it's going to dissolve into something that looks like this.
Well, not exactly like this. We need to explain what that one is.
Well, it's going to look very coagulated and kind of gross. You're like, what is that going to turn out? That doesn't even look like an extract, but this is the finished product right here, and it's pretty clear. Look at the color of that. That is beautiful, and it is so clear. And you're going to go from this to this.
But we need to state as well that this one.
Well, I'm getting there.
You're getting there because it's not going to look exactly like this.
Oh, the color is. It's going to be.
It's going to turn that color, yeah.
Coagulated. But this one, I forgot about it.
Yes.
It had been in there, I don't know, 2.5 months, and I forgot about it. And then I went to pull it out, and it's almost completely solidified. If I pull this out, I might get an ounce out of here. So this is the one thing that I would tell you that in a month, you need to take out the caramel because it's going to absorb more alcohol than you're going to get out.
Yep, it'll coagulate, it'll interact, it becomes thick. And so it's one that you need to be watching. And when it's done correctly, again, just to show you the finish.
The amber color is just gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's one of our.
And it tastes.
Yes. It's caramel and peaches, right? Like it's absolutely a beautiful extract. And so, but you need to keep an eye on it because you've now introduced sugars and you've introduced other things into the extract that can have a different response to just the fruit and the beans. So this is one that you want to watch when you see it coagulating. It takes about a month. that, well, a month is what we say that we do is, and at that point you filter it, pour it through the coffee filter, and we'll show you when we do that. We'll be doing that in a month.
Yes.
That's what
and,
I'm getting
you know,
to.
To get it that pure and clean, you've got to use a coffee filter. But you know, extracts in general, if you've forgotten your cherries are in there a little bit longer, you're going to be okay. It's just not going to do anything. It's not going to rot. It's just, you're not going to get any more flavor. You're just wasting time, right? And it'll be okay. But with the caramel, you know, you won't be okay because you won't have any alcohol left. So this is one extract where I would say you really need to keep on track of where you're at. So, you know, you don't lose all your alcohol.
Yep. So we wanted to show you that we messed up, and we've messed up a lot.
Well,
You know,
I keep it just to remind myself that, you know, this is an experiment. And I didn't know that, you know, if I left, I was thinking the more caramel, the better, right? But nope, not always.
And that's why we do these workshops, to talk about successes and failures so you don't make the same ones. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And so we've showed you the worst case, and then we've shown you what it will be like when we're done.